Hi, I'm C, the Intuition Magician, coming to you from Salem, Massachusetts. We are in October, full-on Halloween season, and so I wanted to do some readings for you, looking forward through this week of Halloween, kind of give you a bit to think about and work with, because the veil is thinnest this time of year, as they call it, and that kind of just means that the space between this world and any others that might be around us is more permeable, right? Things come through more easily. And so this is a great week to kind of like dig deep because might be a lot of answers or energetic support coming through. And so I thought this was a great time to start doing readings for you. So the way this is going to work is that I'll pull 4 cards from 4 different decks, and I'll pull 3 of them. So you will pick a pile between 3 different ones, and then I'll leave timestamps so you can find them. And then I will be pulling cards from first the compass cards, which this is a deck meant to be used for self-coaching, but I like using it off-label to, figure out what is, like kind of what do you need to know sort of a thing. Then we have 2020 Visions Tarot, which is a majors only deck. And that is really great for figuring out where in your life this is going to be relevant. So it's good for narrowing that down. We also have postcards from the liminal space. This deck is out of print, but people who made it are releasing a visions from the liminal space on November 11th. I will link to all the deck creators below. And so this will give us the spooky season factor, where it'll tell us a bit about, what is that influence from the other side here? Like, what is kind of coming through here? And then finally, we'll have a card from the Empty Cup Oracle, which will give us a tool to, work through this question and what comes up along with it. So I would really appreciate that if you like this video, send it to friends. I am a very new account and need all the new people I can get. Like and leave a comment about how this landed. I'll also have a link to send tips and to book a reading with me. I do personal readings. They are really great, if I may say so. I have very, very happy clients. And yeah, subscribe so that I can grow this account and keep doing readings for you. Enjoy. So when you are picking your cards, you will choose one of these stones. And since it is spooky season, I picked some that had spookier names. We have Bloodstone, we have Dragon's Blood Jasper, and we have Howlite. And so as I am putting down the cards, just see which one is resonating the most for you. So we're going to start with the compass cards, which will give us our question that you can focus on. Then we're moving on to 2020 Visions Tarot, which is a majors only deck. And this represents the overall issue that this question is concerning. This one. It's a bit of a choice between 2. Then we have postcards from the liminal space, and these ones are going to tell us, what's a spooky season twist, what's going on here. And so Bloodstone, Dragon's Blood Jasper, Howlite. And finally, we're using the Empty Cup Oracle to find a tool we can use to, get through whatever it is that comes up. So this one, let's go there. And hold on. All right. So pick your cards. So let's start with Bloodstone, which is this beautiful red and green stone. So we are going to be asking, what questions should you focus on this week of Halloween? And we have, what is true? So this week, your question that you can, sink into, think about, focus on, taking advantage of this transformative time is what is true? And so along with that, the area where this is going to apply the most in your life is the Hanged Man. With the Hanged Man card, It sometimes comes up when we are in a time of contemplation, of seeing things from a different perspective, of kind of like reevaluating what is true in our world. And in this case, it is reversed. And so that tells me that it's being overdone. There's something you already know. And instead of accepting that and moving forward with it, kind of stuck on it. That could be a form of like self-doubt where you're like, I don't know, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. It could be that there's someone or something in your life where you don't want to accept that that's the case, whatever the truth is. It could be something within you, it could be something going on around you. But what it's telling us by being reversed is that what it is that you're not wanting to look at, it's time to do it. It's overdue. uh, and so let's see what spooky season element is going to come in to give us a bit of a twist. So we have the enemy of intuition is self-doubt. And with this card, this is telling me that it is that self-doubt. It is not trusting your intuition properly, because your intuition here has a message to give you. It is an opportunity for you to really discover this truth, but your intuition can't help you discover how to move forward, what it is you need to learn, and so forth, if you are doubting yourself. And so all of this together so far is really telling me that you're just going to have to face something that you've been avoiding. The truth is going to have to become clear. And so let's see what tool is available to help you in that process. All right, we've got shooting star. So a shooting star is a moment where we can make a wish, right? It's a moment where things align and the magic is active. And so wherever it is that you're kind of questioning yourself, whether it's like a real world type of situation involving another person, whether it's realizing that you need to give up on something, that you need to move forward with something, whether it's an aspect of yourself, now is the time for you to acknowledge what it is and ask the universe for a sign. So let's just use the example. It's all like, okay, the truth about this is that I need to leave this situation, but I'm having some doubt here for whatever reasons. So please, universe or a deity or your higher self or however you choose to conceptualize it of, just say, please give me a sign just so that I can know I'm on the right track and open up to hearing what my intuition has to say to me, because your intuition knows how to deal with the situation, right? It knows in this example when to leave, it knows how to leave, it knows what to take with you, what to leave behind. Your intuition can guide you. Like this is a time of year when intuition is stronger than most other times. And so you really, really want to take advantage of that, but you can't do it unless you accept the truth. And we're in Scorpio season now. And if there's any sign that can figure out what the truth is, it is Scorpio. And it is also a sign that can transform. And so, whatever it is you're left with, whether the truth is pleasant or not, a big deal or, you know, less important, this is the opportunity to really lean into your intuition. And once you have that sign, it is time to move forward, right? And it's not a sort of thing where it's necessarily wise to be all like, give me a sign for every single little step of the process. But, you know, it's just this sign where once it shows up, and it doesn't need to be asking for something specific. Often that doesn't work as well, you know, but once something happens that you're like, oh, okay, this indicates to me that what I have been thinking about regarding its truth is true, then it is time for you to move forward and trust your intuition to guide you. So, yeah, your intuition is strong, it's good, and good luck exploring your depths and finding out the truth during this week leading up to Halloween. If you picked this Dragonstone, Jasper, this is the reading for you. So the question you're going to be asking yourself this week leading up to Halloween is, what do you not want to admit? That's a juicy one. And let's see what area of life we're dealing with here. Ooh, the sun. That's a fascinating combo. All right, so the sun is a card that often shows up when we are dealing with success, when we're dealing with a yay, we did it, something good happening. And so, what is it in your life where there is something that is worth celebrating, but you aren't giving it that full acknowledgement? You're not admitting to it. So it could be the sort of thing where it's all like something good happened, but you're just kind of like keeping it to yourself and keeping it away from other people when perhaps it would be appropriate to bring others in on the good news. It could also be that you are not admitting to yourself that you actually have succeeded. And so it can be the sort of thing where you may have, accomplished something, but it's not quite the way you wanted it. And so you're being hard on yourself instead of seeing it as like, I completed the thing, right? And so something that we need to keep in mind here is that with the sun, we need that sun, we need that light, we need to have those moments where we honor everything we've been through to get to where we are. That provides fuel moving forward. The sun gives us vitamin D. When we need that, it helps boost our mood. And giving yourself that little bit of a high from being like, yay, I did a thing, then that's going to keep you in that lower energy. And it's going to be harder and harder to do things if you never acknowledge that you're having those wins. If you're waiting to celebrate until you have the perfect thing to celebrate, then, it's going to be harder and harder to stay motivated. So it's kind of like that thing where they say to, celebrate all the little successes around along the way. And so what do you need to admit to yourself or others that was a success? So the spooky season twist is the best stories produce better stories. This is a good one. So what stories are you telling yourself about the success or what you're not perceiving as a success or win or good thing? So let's say you took your midterms and you got a B plus. And so it might be the sort of thing where it's all like, yeah, B plus is not an A, but what story are you telling yourself there? You're telling a story that it wasn't a win, right? I failed to get an A. But what is a better story that you can tell yourself? What is a story that's going to bring you that light and energy? Well, you could say this was a really hard semester because of this, and this, and there were these factors that contributed, whether it's like the course material, the professor, the class, whatever it is, like these things need to be taken into consideration. And when I take all of that into consideration, then a B plus is good. I mean, it's a passing grade. It's on the high end of passing. And you still have the rest of the semester to work on your grade, right? And so what story are you telling yourself about this thing that actually is good, happy, successful, a bright spot in your life? Because diminishing your shine is not going to be helpful. So what is a tool that can help you with this? We've got Nest. All right, this is a beautiful card of the safe space, of an environment that nurtures you, where you feel comfortable. This is suggesting to me that, it doesn't have to be a big throw a party for this good thing in my life situation. It can be, going back to the example we're using, cuddling up in a nice blanket that's all soft and having a hot beverage and all your favorite snacks and binging that show that you want to catch up on because you were studying too much to do it before, right? It just like whatever's going to make you like a comfortable environment is going to make it easier to celebrate the success. If you have to stand up in front of the class and be like, I got a B plus, that's very different than if you're at home in your pajamas, right? And so having that comfortable environment to admit your success is going to be easier than an environment that isn't nurturing. Another thing Nest could mean is sharing this sun thing, this thing you haven't been able to admit, with the people who are close to you, who are safe and nurturing, right? The people who, if you're a baby bird in the nest and you make an attempt at flying, they're going to be like, great job, you're doing great. Like, who are those people in your life that can be happy for you, that are safe, that are close to you, and sharing with them? And again, this doesn't necessarily even have to be something where it's all like, I didn't do well enough. Sometimes it is hard to admit that like we did fully succeed. It's the thing where maybe you got this promotion, but you don't want anyone to know for whatever reasons. Like, who is like one safe person you can tell you got a promotion to and be happy about it with? Maybe you'll tell other people later, maybe you won't, but it needs to be admitted and acknowledged in one way or another. And so that is your task this week, to admit to something that is good in your life, to rewrite the narrative about it, and to honor it and celebrate it in a way that feels comfy and nice for you. So best of luck with that, and happy Halloween season. All right, if you chose Howlite, then this is your reading. So the question that you will be asking yourself in the week leading up to Halloween is, if you're honest with yourself, what are you quietly fantasizing is the answer? All right, so here we're looking at, what is it in your life that you are maybe struggling to admit that you want? So let's see what area we're dealing with here. Ooh, the High Priestess. So this tells me that we're dealing a bit more with the more mysterious realms, with magic, intuition, with it can also be things that are hidden. So what is it that you like actually want? And the High Priestess can be very mysterious. So like what is it that you're kind of like hoping for? And that's kind of there in your space, but you can't quite bring it forward because it sounds like it is time to bring it forward, to acknowledge what it is that you actually are fantasizing about. And what better time to fantasize than, one of the most magical seasons of the year. So the spooky season factor we're bringing in is, ooh, I love this. You wished for this. These cards are lining up nicely. So what did you wish for? What are you actually wishing for? And this is also making me think that maybe you are either have more of or closer to what it is that you were fantasizing about than you think. Sometimes we don't necessarily acknowledge that we have something we want because it didn't show up exactly the way that we imagined it, right? And so, looking within yourself, a very high priestess thing to do, looking within yourself this week and being honest about like those things you fantasize about, try connecting them to what is going on in your life right now. Like, where are these things already showing up for you? Want them right now? No, I mean, there's still things I want to change or improve upon, but if I went back to past me would be super excited. Sometimes we have this dissonance around not feeling like we have what we want, but bringing in gratitude and acknowledgement and celebration for those things that are right can really kind of shift that energy so you can get more and more of what you want. All right, and so a tool that can help you with this is, microscope. Looking closely, looking at the little things. you know, um, if you're secretly fantasizing about being a millionaire, you may not have $1 million, but looking at the microscope, looking at the small things, like what are the things you do have in common with a millionaire that not everyone has, right? Like maybe you have a pretty nice place to live. It's not $1 million mansion, but like you have a nice home. That's something millionaires have. Or, if you're in love, could your relationship improve? Yeah, maybe it's not that fantasy relationship that's all perfect, but like what parts of your relationship are bringing that out? Like what is it in your relationship that really is like, oh, I would have been so happy if you would have told me this a few months ago or a few years ago or whatever. Finding the little things, because when you're in that energy, then you're not only going to be happier, but you're going to get more of the same. You're going to get closer and closer to that ideal or something even better. Sometimes we think we want one thing, and if we're too set on that specific, we are blocking the opportunity for something that is even better. So that is your task this week. dig into your fantasies, very Scorpio thing, go inside like the high priestess. Figure out what it is that you already have that past you would have been so excited about. And yeah, look at those little things, appreciate the little things because they are what will allow you to bring in that positive energy. And so good luck with that this week and happy Halloween. Leads and leads and leads and baby.